Hey crafty friends, it's Jen, and I am excited to come on here with you guys and share with you a little bit about Club Couture, what it is, what's special about it, and then do a really fun project with you guys using July's Club Couture transfer. I'm just going to refresh and make sure that I can see what is going on, and I will be getting right into this project. So Club Couture, what is it, right? It's from Chalk Couture, and it is a subscription program that you get to subscribe to and get happy mail every month for right under $20 a month. It is really, really awesome, you guys. So it comes with a B size transfer. It's always a B. And that just means the size of the sheet that you get. It's always 8.5 by 11, which is that B size. And every time you get one, it's going to be exclusive. So that means only club members and designers like myself can get their hands on these really trendy and fun designs. So you get the B-size transfer, and then you're also going to be getting 3 colors to come with it. And this is our color paste, and I have this one here in a little baggie because I used it already. But it's basically 3 of these. There are enough in these little packets. These are called our singles to do a project or 2. I already did one out of this one, but I'm going to use it tonight to do this project tonight with you guys. So that's what you guys are going to be getting for that great price. It's also going to be shipped to you for free. Happy mail coming in. You can change out your decor. If you don't know already, our paste is water soluble. So if you put it on a non-porous surface, you're going to be able to erase it off of your surface and refresh it every month or put it on something new. Our transfers are also reusable, you guys. So that means you can make 8 to 12 projects with just one transfer, which is really awesome. When it's a design like this, this tells me I can use it once, I can put it away, save it for next year, or I can use it that 8 to 12 times. I can put it on a surface like what I'm going to do tonight. I can put it on a shirt. I can make something for my neighbor. Just the sky is the limit with that 8 to 12 times, and that is part of what makes Chalk Couture so amazing. And this club is amazing. It also, with having this transfer design every month, you're going to be able to have access to a how-to guide. It's going to have written instructions on how to, there's video instructions, so whatever works best with your creative style, you're going to get that inspiration from Chalk Couture themselves, and then you're also going to be getting some of that from me, your designer. That's what tonight's all about, is doing something a little bit different, sharing with you another way to use this transfer. So just know that that automatically comes every month with this design. You also, as a club member, get flat rate shipping and exclusive specials that no one else gets through Chalk Couture. So just know that it's amazing to have something come in the mail. Creating and being crafty is a form of therapy. It's something that people can do with kids. It's just a lot of fun. So let's jump on in. Let's get started with this Life's a Bowl of Cherries from this month. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a fuzzing cloth, and all this really is a terry cloth towel, and I'm going to gently pull off the transfer from the backer. I wanna make sure it doesn't stick to itself. And I'm going to do what we call fuzzing. I'm just going to place this transfer right on this terry cloth, and I'm going to get a little bit of lint and fuzz off of my terry cloth towel onto the backer of this, because it is a tacky, sticky adhesive. And that way it's ready to go on my surface. Now I did go ahead and I used a magic marker and I marked the back of my transfer. Transfer backer, I should say. There is a shinier side, but depending on the lighting, you may not be able to know which side is which, and you want to make sure you stick it back on the backer sheet right. If you don't, it may stick like a sticker, and then you're going to get less uses out of your transfer, and we don't want that. We want that 8 to 12 times, right? So that's what I'm going to do, and you want to do that every time with your transfer, especially the first time you use it. Okay, so now I'm going to use a surface. Now this is our 9 by 12. This is our whitewashed wooden palette sign. Now you can use it either way. It does have 3 pieces that are put together, so you can see those lines there. Now I went ahead and, let's see if we can make it where you guys can see. I went ahead and I distressed all the edges of this to expose a little bit of the raw wood underneath. If you don't do that, it looks like this when you get it, okay? So it's up to you what your preference is, but I do like that raw wood look. So I went ahead and I sanded it with just a regular sanding block. And the next step I want to do before I place my transfer onto this board is I want to grab one of the colors that comes this month. So we have that candy apple red, okay? It also comes with a cadet, which is this really rich, beautiful blue color. And then it also comes with this muted blue, almost has a gray hue to it, and this is our Ocean Mist. So all 3 of these colors will be coming in those single packets when you get the club subscription, but I'm using my 3-ounce jars because that's what I have on hand. And so I'm going to open up this Ocean Mist, and I'm going to use our color tray here, and I'm going to scoop out just a little bit of this paste. Now this is water soluble, so it's going to blend with water really well. I'm going to use our fine mist sprayer, and I'm just going to give that just one little hit of water here. It doesn't take a whole lot. We're just wanting to thin down this chalk paste. Now this is paste, it's not paint, okay? The difference is it is going to be a different consistency. It is not going to be permanent. If I wanted to make it permanent, let's say I thought this was going to go in my kitchen and I did not want it to come off, which it's going to go on a wooden surface, so it's really not going to come off 100% anyways. But if I was afraid this was going to get wet, I would just take a clear sealer and spray that onto the surface. That's going to seal it in. It's going to make it permanent. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to take our new artisan tool set. Now this is our paintbrush, and I'm going to just load up this paintbrush with the thinned out paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add it right onto my surface, and I'm going to make it look like a watercolored paint, okay? I want it to go opposite the direction of the slats. The slats are going one direction, and I'm going to go horizontal the other direction on here. This is an optional thing to do, but I just thought it would add something really fun to this project and a little pop of color behind. So totally up to you if you want to do that or not, but I think this is really fun, you guys. So I would love to hear down in the comments, would you paint your board? What do you think of that? So I'm going to let this dry for just a second, and this paste really does dry quickly, you guys. So don't stress about that at all. And what I have here is the same whitewashed technique that's on our very thin and wooden. These are our mini tags. And I went ahead and I kind of scored with my scissors a little bit earlier where I wanted this to be. And now I'm just gonna grab my like X-Acto knife, and I'm just gonna score on that line just a little bit more. Flip it over. Now these are pretty thin and they are wooden, but I'm just wanting to make this kind of a squatty tag is what I guess you would call it. A thinner tag, a smaller tag to fit in. So now I've scored it. This, you guys, I'm just going to bend just so slightly, and just like that, it came apart, you guys. These are really awesome and flexible products that we have. Now I'm just gonna take my sanding block and just off here a little bit so it doesn't get all over the place. I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a sanding, and that way it's ready to go. Okay, so now I have a shorter tag. Isn't that cute? And so that I'm gonna use here in just a minute. And so let's check on this board here. Let's see how dry it is. It's still not 100%. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my backer and I'm just gonna give it a fan job here and just try to speed up that process. So you can pretty much tell when the Chalk Couture paste is dry. It takes, you know, 5 to 8 minutes to dry on its own if it's used the way it normally is, because this was watered down and also because I thinned it really thin. It's gonna take a little bit less time to dry, and you can feel it though. It'll have like a tacky feel when it's not dry, okay? So now I'm gonna take my board and I'm gonna flip it the direction I really want to make sure my design goes on. So I fuzzed that design already, and here it is. So it fits perfectly on this board if I was going to center it between the little spaces here on the board itself. But I don't really want it to be 100% centered. I'm really wanting to be able to add my tag on here. So I'm gonna center it by eyeballing, and you can definitely measure it out if you wanted to. But down here at the bottom, because I wanted to have this upper space a little bit empty. So now I'm just going to secure this transfer down. And while I'm doing this, I'm just focusing really on the letters and the images. I want to make sure that that is down and solid. Okay, so as you can tell, I have a little bit of space up top here, and if I flip it over, you'll see the little bit of overhang here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that backer sheet here, okay, using the side that doesn't have the writing on it, and I'm going to pull this transfer back up a little bit, and I want to place that down over where I don't really want to put any paste. Now I could just use some washi tape on there. We have some placement tape and stuff, but I'm just gonna do that just to help me just a little bit with making sure that I am going to get it where I want it and not get it where I don't want it, okay? So now I'm going to take my colors. Now we have the Cadet and the Candy Apple Red. So I'm going to take this Candy Apple Red out. Now I did put it in a baggie, and I did use this on something, on another project about a week ago, you guys. But this is still really squishy, and what I'm doing is I'm kneading it. I'm making sure that I am blending those color components together in that paste. And now I'm just going to squeeze it out onto my, well, maybe I need to use my scissors and cut it a little bit. It sealed the top. So But really a little bit goes a long way with this, you guys, so you don't have to put a whole lot out on your tray. Okay, so there's that little bit. Set that aside, and I'm gonna put this over here. And so what I wanted to do is I'm going to work on using up all of these different colors in various ways on this project. So we have a new Creamy Dreamy formula for our paste, and it makes it really easy to work with, which is amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, this is a specialty squeegee here. So you guys, if you see me using a different color, it's because I got it at a special event I went to. But I'm going to take this Caudette and I'm just going to go over all of the words on here. And I'm going to try to be really careful because I don't want to get those splash marks. And I also don't want to get the cherries with this Caudette color, okay? And if you're really worried about it, like I said, we sell a placement tape. It's like a washi tape, if you know what that is, that kind of can help make sure you get things where you want it and not where you don't want it, okay? So I'm just going to just be really careful while I'm doing this. Now, time is one of the things that you have to be aware of when you are working with Chalk Couture paste and stuff, because it is something that needs some attention. You do want to try to work pretty quickly when working with our paste line for sure. So just keep that in mind as you're going through on your project, but you also don't want to get paste where you're not intending it either. So, okay, so I'm almost done with the words. Now this transfer says, life is like a bowl of cherries, make it sweet. And this is really a cute one because you can take different elements off of this and really, you know, play with it a little bit. You could do life is sweet. You could do make life sweet. So just, you know, just think outside the box if you want with this, because there are so many different times you can use this. So now I'm going to take a little mini squeegee and I'm going to try to work a little bit quicker here because we are probably running out of time as far as the paste drying. You don't want it to dry in your, you don't want it to dry in the screen. Okay, so that's really what we're trying to avoid when we're talking about going quickly. So I'm just getting these little splash marks here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this up and do the peel and reveal. Okay. No, I'm good. So, oh my goodness, you guys, this is so stinking cute. Oh my heavens. Okay. So I'm going to let that dry for just a second and look at how cute that is, you guys. Okay. So that is super cute. I'm going to let that dry for just a second and I'm going to step over and do another little portion here. Now what I wanted to do, and I'm just going to use my backer here to kind of help me out. And I'm going to put away this Caudette because I'm done with the Caudette and I don't want it to dry out. So I'm just going to close that up and put that away. And I'm done with the Ocean Mist, so I'm going to close that up and put that away. And you guys can clean up all of your tools and everything using the using your water, just water, plain old water, you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little squatty tag here, and I want to place this little cherry right here, the one that was on the bottom. I'm going to place that on there, and I'm going to grab another mini squeegee. I'm going to grab the candy apple red that was in that little paste packet, and you guys see I just barely put any out, and I've loaded up my squeegee here. And now I'm gonna do leaves in all. Normally I would not do my leaves in red, but I'm working with the colors that come with the kit. And so the leaves in red I think will be just fine. I think that's gonna look super cute. So I put it over the top, I squeegeed off all that extra, and now I'm going to pull this up and reveal these really cute little cherries here. So isn't that really cute? Okay, so now back to our original here, and it's still not dry. I can tell it's not dry. So what I'm gonna do is, while it's drying, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to kind of give this a little bit of a fanning here. Try to see if I can speed up the process. Now we do have a drying tool, but I did not bring it from my craft room over here to this area, so I don't have it on hand, but that definitely would speed up the process. So if you guys are looking to make things really quickly, definitely think about grabbing one of those drying tools, because I think they are definitely worth the effort. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to grab this transfer again, and I'm going to very lightly kind of slide it over my image. I'm not really going to press it down, but I want to do this cherry right here. Okay, so now I'm going to take that same red and I'm going to go back through here and just get that cherry in place. Okay, and just like that, and I'm going to pull this up. Ta-da! Okay, the cherry is awesome. It looks so cute, you guys. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of that so far. I think it looks really cute. Now I could just leave it just like this. Put it up. It looks really cute as is, but I gotta do a little something extra here. I like that distressed look. I really love adding the sanded edges and adding in some kind of element, and that's why I did that little squatty tag. I think it needed something extra. So I'm gonna take this board here, and what I'm gonna do, let me see if I can turn this around so you guys can kind of see, is I'm gonna start over here on this edge and keep my little extra bit here, okay? And I'm gonna go around this board a couple of times with some jute twine. Let's see if I could do it here. And it's not a big deal if it's not perfectly in place, but I want to get it somewhat close, okay? And then, so about 3 times is what I'm going to do. You can do as many as you want. There is a rule of thumb that you want to try to keep it in odd numbers. Okay, I am going to lay this down though, because doing things backwards and upside down are really not one of my skill sets here. So, okay, so I'm just gonna tie this as close to tight as I can. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and snap that off. Okay, now I'm gonna take this here. Now I can see that by the sheen of this paste that it's not completely dry yet. So I do need to be a little bit more careful with it when I'm tying it on. But I want to just tie this right on here and get it pretty snug. And I'm actually going to tie it twice so that I can make sure it's in place. And I can totally move these twine up so that it's out of the way. And I'm going to set that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I have some baker's twine in red. So I'm going to take the baker's twine and I'm going to combine it with this jute twine. And I'm going to make me a quick little bow to add to the top here. So I'm just going to take those two together, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail here. and wrap it around my two little fingers here. And just wrap it a couple of times. Now, depending on how far apart you spread your fingers, sometimes you can use all 4 fingers, sometimes just the 2. But depending on how far apart you spread your fingers, that's gonna depend on how big your bow is, okay? So I wrap it about 2 or 3 times, okay? And then I take my little circle here that I've made, and I'm gonna pinch that in half. And I'm going to now take, it could be the jute, it could be my twine here, my baker's twine, and it doesn't really matter either way, but I'm just gonna tie a knot around the ribbon here, and that's gonna make my bow closed off. Now sometimes it is easier if you have some extra hands, but just be patient, give yourself some grace, and just know that you'll get it. It'll be just fine. So now after I've gotten that tied together, I kind of just pull all my little pieces down, and then you can either snip them all different sizes, you can snip them all the same. It's kind of whatever your preference is, but then there we go. Now we have a cute little bow, okay? And so I'm gonna take that, and now I'm gonna put that in the middle of this little tag. I'm gonna take that jute that I had the tag tied with, and I'm going to tie this little bow right in place. I do like to double knot just to make sure it's not going anywhere. Okay? And just like that, you guys. This project is done. I think it's really, really cute. Now it is hanging a little bit lower than I'd like, so what I might do is just take a little bead of hot glue and just kind of put that right there in place and make sure it's not going anywhere. But what do you guys think of this? I think it's super cute. I think it would be a great gift for somebody's home. It's gonna look awesome in my kitchen. This would be really, really cute if you had a cherry pie to hand over to a neighbor with it. I love the colors because I think the colors are really schoolhouse, fun and summery. Love it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, comment down below. Let me know, who would you give this to? Where would you put it in your home? And I will be back later sometime to share more inspiration with you guys. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.